The rookie S7E15, Tim and Lucy's truth serum, moment plus shock breakup explained, a deadly secret. It's not just the name of the rookie season 7, episode 15, it's a promise, a whisper, a warning. This episode didn't just bring back a fan favorite character, it changed the rules, the tone, the emotional weight of the entire season, and it starts with a disappearance. But let's not rush. Let's pull back the layers, piece by piece, and uncover what makes this episode not only one of the most ambitious chapters in the show's history, but possibly one of the most personal. The disappearance of Abigail, a deadly secret unveiled. Despite how stable Henry and Abigail's relationship previously appeared, Nolan reveals to the director that they are no longer together. Just like that, no explosion, no cheating scandal, no breakup montage, just truth, dropped like a stone. But before we unpack that moment, let's set the scene. A true crime twist, the rookie like you've never seen it before. A deadly secret is framed in the style of a true crime documentary, a brilliant and risky departure from the rookie's traditional procedural format. This wasn't just an aesthetic choice, this was storytelling re-engineered, for one purpose, to turn the lens inward. Instead of watching cops solve crimes, we're now watching cops caught inside one, or at least caught inside something that looks like a crime. A disappearance, a secret, maybe something more. We see Nolan being interviewed, his tone is subdued, his words carefully chosen, the camera feels colder, the lighting more shadowed. There's an emotional distance because this time the mystery isn't just on the street, it's inside the department, inside the family, inside Nolan himself. You ever watched a cop show and suddenly felt like you were inside a Netflix docuseries? Yeah, that's exactly what this feels like. The mystery of Abigail. Last seen back in season 2, episode 5, introduces Henry's fiancée. Sweet, stable, supportive. For most of us, she was one of the safe characters, not flashy, but warm, familiar, someone who added emotional texture to Henry's arc. But this episode, she's gone. And not gone in the off-screen and we forgot to mention it kind of way. Gone, like where is Abigail? Level gone. And when Nolan says those words, they're no longer together, it chills the air. You can feel it. Something happened. And the show's not handing out answers. What makes this breakup feel so real? Let's pause here and talk psychology. Most shows dramatize breakups. A screaming match, slammed doors, one character storming off into the rain. You know the drill. But the rookie doesn't go that route here. Instead, it gives us something more raw, more adult. It gives us absence. Abigail is gone, and the relationship is over. Not because someone messed up, but because life moved on. Priorities shifted, paths diverged, and if you've ever had a relationship fade without a big finale, this hits hard. This is the kind of emotional storytelling that sneaks up on you, because sometimes the saddest endings are the ones without a scene. Behind the scenes, the real reason Abigail returned. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Madeline Coughlin, who plays Abigail, didn't just return to close a character loop she's been writing for the show since last season. Let that sink in. She's an actor, a writer, a director, a triple threat as Alexi Hawley, the showrunner, calls her. And this episode was a way to celebrate that journey, to bring her back not just as Abigail, but as a storyteller. According to Hawley, they had wanted to find the right way to explain Abigail's absence from episode 100, the wedding. And this episode gave them the perfect opportunity. It allowed them to explore Nolan's emotional depth, give closure to Henry's storyline, and highlight Maddie's growing presence behind the camera. This wasn't just a goodbye, it was a spotlight. But wait, there's something stranger here. The rookie doesn't just dip its toe into drama here, it dives into something eerier. Alexi Hawley shared that this episode leaned into ghost huntery horror movie vibes. Say what? Yep, they wanted to do something they had never done before. Blend the tension of a true crime with the whispers of something more supernatural. It's subtle, but it's there. The music, the darkened corners, the pacing. There's an energy in this episode that suggests maybe we're not just watching a breakup and a missing person, maybe we're watching the beginning of something darker. Could the rookie actually be teasing the paranormal? Are we supposed to take Nolan's quiet discomfort as fear of something more than human, or is it just grief, disguised as something eerie? We'll explore that in the next part, but one thing is clear, Abigail's disappearance is more than just a character exit. It's a trigger, a fuse, and something is about to blow. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment emotional twist, this was a long game. A season's worth of glances, tension, unresolved conflict, a slow, emotionally layered path leading us here. Even Lucy's own realization is delivered with a sort of dazed clarity. Just a quiet sound, but it holds the weight of release. Forgiveness doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it's a whisper that surprises even you. What happens now? Reconciliation or roadblock? So here's the question. Does this mean Chenford is back? Not exactly. According to Hawley, the emotional groundwork is there, but real life isn't that easy. there could be some trepidation or fear about, what if it's not like it was before? And that's real. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't losing someone, it's getting them back and realizing the pieces don't fit the same way. There's still the sergeant's exam, there's still distance, trust to rebuild, ghosts to lay to rest, but what this moment did do is reopen the door, a door that many of us thought was sealed shut. Let's not overlook the brilliance of the writing. Using sodium pentothal to force honesty is a rare storytelling tool, and here, it's used with precision. This wasn't just a gimmick, it was a mirror, one the characters couldn't look away from. In a series that often focuses on action and cases, this was a moment for vulnerability, for inner conflict, for raw humanity, and let's face it, the fans needed this. After months of tension, of wondering whether Chenford was dead and buried, this moment was a defibrillator. Chenford isn't magically fixed, but they're no longer pretending, and that, in storytelling and in life, is where healing begins, because the truth, it doesn't always hurt. Sometimes, it sets you free. That's what the rookie showrunner Alexi Hawley said when asked if there could be demons in the show. It sounds like a throwaway quote, something mysterious, teasing. But if you've watched episode 15, you know that quote hits different, because for the first time this series, usually grounded in the day-to-day grind of police life, started to feel like something else. A bit paranormal, a little haunted, definitely not what we expected from a primetime procedural, and the real question is, was it just a stylistic experiment, or is the rookie slowly opening a door we weren't supposed to see? Let's unpack the clues. The ghost huntery horror vibe. What does that even mean? Alexi Hawley described the episode as leaning into this sort of ghost huntery horror movie vibe, which we hadn't done before. That's a bold choice for a show that typically balances comedy, action, and heartfelt drama. But this episode is different. From the first frame, you can feel it. The lighting is colder. The music, creepier. Even the pacing feels slower, like something is lurking beneath each scene. This is still the rookie, but it's the rookie through a horror filter, and the effect? It's unsettling, in the best way. A documentary derailing in real time. Let's rewind. The original premise for the episode was that a crew was filming a documentary about the LAPD, likely centered around Nolan. But then, according to Hawley, that got torpedoed by something happening in real time. That something is Abigail's disappearance. And just like that, the tone of the episode shifts, and not subtly. What began as a career retrospective morphs into a true crime mystery in real time. You're not just watching interviews, you're watching people reacting to what's happening around them in the moment with confusion, dread, and fear. That's not just narrative risk, that's intentional disorientation. And that shift from we're filming a story to we are the story echoes the same format as found footage horror, where everything feels just a little too raw to be staged. What do the ghosts represent? Let's go deeper. Yes, there's a spooky vibe. Yes, the music makes your skin crawl. But Hawley is no stranger to symbolism. So maybe these ghosts aren't literal. Maybe they're metaphorical. Maybe the haunting is about Nolan being haunted by past choices, Henry still grappling with what he lost in Abigail, Tim haunted by his father's emotional scars, Lucy haunted by her doubts and the absence of Abigail. That's the ultimate ghost. Not someone dead, but someone vanished without explanation. Because sometimes, the people who leave silently hurt the most. Characters who believe in good and evil. Another clue, Hawley points out that there are characters in The Rookie who genuinely believe in the supernatural. I love that we have characters like Selena, and in some ways, Lopez, who believe in good and evil. And he means that literally. Selena, in particular, has always had an intuition that borders on sixth sense. She often feels things before others do. It's never fully explained. But that's the point. Lopez, too, has moments where she leans on insight